y'all, it's Kelly from Dixie Darlins, and I'm actually going to start today showing you guys how I'm cutting out the artist foil and glitter tape, because I've had a lot of questions about that, about what I cut it on. So I have a Cricut Explorer Air, and I'm going to select my accessory once I get it ready to cut. It takes a few minutes for mine usually to do, so I'm going to select my Cricut Air, and then it's going to give me, and I'm going to hit next, and this takes a few minutes for mine to load. I'm going to go to where it says all materials, and in the top right corner there's a button that said settings. I'm going to scroll down to paper minus. I'm going to select that, and I'm going to move my pressure up to 300. If you guys can see, I'm moving it to 300 here. I'm going to hit save. I'm going to arrow out, and then I'm going to close. And then when I go to select it, I'm selecting paper minus. So that's the setting that I use to cut this out. And you cut it with the shiny side up. The blue side's going to be down on your mat. And I was just showing you here that because these sheets are 17 inches, I'm actually going to cut right on the line of my template, and it actually gives me a whole other section to cut. So if you're doing 20-ounce skinny straights like I usually do from Craft Haven, I cut it at 9.31 inches width by 8 inches in height, and these 12 by 17 sheets give me 2 cuts out of that with a little extra just to play around with different foils. So I'm actually starting with this 20-ounce skinny straight from Craft Haven. It's been sanded and spray painted Rust-Oleum's 2X silver metallic. And I've got my template cut out now, and I'm just trimming off the very edge. I've made sure that it's going to sit square on the cup, and I'm going to place that first edge down on the cup. And then I'm just going to kind of wrap the other side to make sure that my lines are going to meet up. And when I get to make sure that they're met up, then I just pull the backing off of these glitter foil and artist glitter foil tape. And but I'm going to do it just like I do my vinyl wraps, where I'm going to hold it on one side and I kind of just run my thumb to press it to get any air bubbles out, making sure that the top and the bottom are laying fairly smooth. So I'm just going to continue to press that on around until I get back to the seam, and then I'm going to press that seam in really good. So y'all, I thought this would be really simple. I'm going to tell you, it really is pretty quick. But these little things, the worst part of this whole cup, I'm going to tell y'all right now, is dealing with the little pieces that come off right there. They wanted to stick to my fingers and make a mess. But anyway, then I'm going to go in and use kind of this holographic white foil from Southern Belle Glitter. I will link the exact color in the description box. I'm using that. I'm going to use this one that's not a true white, because I wanted this to look like a window pane. I actually had seen a mosaic done with mirrors, and I sent it to Cindy at Southern Belle Glitter, and I was like, how can we replicate this on a cup? And I was actually thinking I was going to take little broken shards of glass or mirrors and put on the cup. And she's like, why don't you just try with a chrome vinyl? And I was like, okay, well, let me see what kind of, with a chrome foil. And so I said, well, let me see what kind of pattern I can come up with. And this is what I came up with. So I just had this idea of like a very broken mirrored mosaic. This was a little more structured than what I wanted on the template, but I couldn't find exactly what I was wanting, but it gave me the same look that I was going for. So I'm actually going to use, and I didn't want to use a true white. I wanted to use kind of this holographic white where it wasn't a stark white in between. You know how like if you have a mosaic, it has your grout in between, but it's not, they're just not, it's more of a distressed look. It's kind of random. So I wanted a little bit more of that than going with the stark white. And then just have this, that was what was in my mind as I was working on this cup, this mosaic. So I'm just kind of showing you guys that I actually tried just using my burnishing stick to get the foils to stick on the double-sided adhesive. And then I end up going back with the same clay dotting tool that you guys see me use a lot. And it's a silicone tip on one end and it's just a metal on the other. And it just kind of gives you an ability to outline where, so it'll really get down onto that, to your artist foil and glitter tape here. So, and obviously this artist foil and glitter tape is the Dixie Darlins that is available exclusively at Southern Belle Glitter. And I will link everything in the description box below. So this is actually the chrome foil from Southern Belle Glitter that I wanted to use. And I'm just going to kind of let it run through here and you guys watch for those who want to. If not, fast forward. I'm going to go through it fairly quickly. But I did just want people to see kind of the sections that I did as I did it. I don't do the whole cup. I kind of just did it in sections. And because of the way this chrome foil is, you can actually do that. And there's places that don't stick to the Dixie Darlins Artist Foil and Glitter Tape as well as you want them to, then you can kind of go back and do it. But you can see I kind of wanted it to look like a mirror is what was in my mind with it. So this one may be redone again. I love the way it turned out with the holographic in it. You're going to see me use these foil dust. One of the silver ones called Miley from Southern Belle Glitter. I love it. I used it on a live showing them in the Facebook group last week, and I just fell in love with these things. So I decided that that would kind of be a good filler in. So Josie, who is inspired by Josie on TikTok, she has a big TikTok following. She is the one that came up with these, to my knowledge, or at least that's who I first saw do what she called foil fillers. So you take these very fine glitters and you rub them over your foils, and so if you have any creases in them, they'll fill in the cracks. So that's what I was going to attempt to do today. With the chrome foils and then using these foil dust to kind of give it a holographic look. So it changed it from a little bit of the mirrored look that I originally had in my mind to a more holographic look, but I really love how it turned out. I have this, so y'all also know that I don't know if y'all know this, but for y'all who know me, know that I love the Letter by Stephanie SVG Club. She has monthly SVGs that she comes out with every month, and I'm a member of the club. I'll link it also below where you can join right now, going through my link. But this month she had some really good ones, and one of them was look for the joy. And that's kind of one of the things that I try to live by, of always looking for the positive, look for the joy in things, always being grateful and feeling blessed. And so I knew that I wanted to use that. And so when I saw this and I had the thought of wanting this to be like a mirror, I was like, oh, it's like look for the joy, like you're looking into, or you're looking out for the joy in the mirror. So, and sometimes you have to look in the mirror to find your own joy, right? So this is actually these very fine foil dust from Southern Belle Glitter, and you can see I put gloves on, and as soon as I get my foils on there, I just go ahead with these and I just started rubbing them in. So all those little creases and the little places that maybe give you a more distressed look, typically if you want to fill those in, they come right now. She has them available in silver, gold, just a stark white that actually makes a really good background for your water slides because it's very subtle. And then also kind of a gunmetal color that's not holographic, but she's got a lot of colors coming in. So you can see I'm just rubbing them on the cup. I had somebody mention during the Fun Foil Friday that I did in my Facebook group about using a paintbrush to brush them off. If you do it, use a very soft one because it will scratch it. I prefer wiping it down with a paper towel. So it's not going to stick to the foils and the places that you don't want them to, but it will stick and kind of fill in all those places where that artist foil and glitter tape is still exposed. So really, this is just how I do them. Somebody else might have a better way or a different way, but I just decided I'm just kind of dip my finger in there and then just rub them on the cup and wipe them off with a paper towel. And after I got done with that, I did not seal these or anything because it's more of a distressed look anyway. I'm going to go right into a layer of epoxy because that also fills in anywhere where your adhesive is exposed. So if you're using brush-on adhesive or this glitter and foil tape, then a lot of times people think that the foils repel epoxy, but it's actually not the foils, it's the adhesive. So this is a great way to fill in all those places where the adhesive can still be exposed and create fisheyes in your epoxy. You can use this and it helps a lot with that. So I would recommend using these if possible, if you're really having a problem with fisheyes or anything like that. And I have used these on a white cup. I'm going to try to get a tutorial out pretty quickly too on just the various colors because y'all, they are beautiful to just rub on a brush adhesive and then put these foil dust over them. Beautiful. So here I am using Counterculture's medium viscosity artist resin. I use 20 milliliters. I apply my coat. I'm applying a little bit of heat here to pop any bubbles, and then I'm going to let this coat dry for about 8 hours. Then I'm going to go in and I've created this decal. I've done an offset and I'm doing it with a livable green and this fun holographic pattern from Vinyl Cottage that I will link in the description box below. The green is from Tech Wrap. I will have it linked as well, and it is livable green. And then after I get my decal applied, I've just layered this with an offset the green underneath with the holographic silver on top. And then I'm again applying a 20 milliliters of Counterculture's medium viscosity artist resin. And I applied this coat, and I will use my torch to pop any bubbles. And then I'm just going to lightly sand the rim before I'm going to go in with my final layer of epoxy after. I just take a 220 sanding block, a 220 grit sanding block, and kind of sand around the upper rim. Sometimes I also use a flapper wheel on a Dremel tool. That works really well too. I have some tutorials where I've shown that previously if you're interested in seeing more about that in detail. And then I apply my final layer of epoxy. So I hope that you guys are enjoying this week. I just wanted to show you guys different ways, and I definitely to use these artist foil and glitter tapes. And I also wanted you guys to see these foil dusts. They are amazing and they are so much fun. You're actually going to see another one tomorrow where I'm going to use the gold one. So stay tuned for that one on a turquoise color, and it's beautiful. So I'm excited for y'all to see that one as well. So stay tuned. Thank y'all so much for watching. Hop over to my Dixie Darlins Tumblers Facebook group and join us over there live every Sunday night. And if you're enjoying my tutorials, please hit the bell button and subscribe so you won't miss my future tutorials. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all again soon.